Hallo und herzlich willkommen. Es geht weiter mit Stanley. Wuhu. Ja, hier ist Razor Chaos. Und ja, wie ich gerade eben gesagt habe, es geht weiter mit Stanley. Ja, welche Tür gehen wir rein? Rot, das finde ich schön.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Das ist eine Worldwide Lateboard. Perfekt. Aha. Aha. Okay. Die war nicht schnell. Ich gehe nochmal hier rein.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Was ist, wenn ich das Baby verbrennen lasse? Egal, wir probieren's mal aus.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
It's never the end, it's never the end, it's never the end.
Yay!
Vielleicht bist du jetzt im kompletten richtigen Ende, ne? Weil das ist ja noch gar nicht passiert, das mit dem Logo hier.
Was?
Aha, fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Kann ich das Expo-Fass mitnehmen? Das macht schön Bum-Bum, Bum-Bum schön sein. Ich will's mitnehmen. Gib's her. Nein, ich will das Bum-Bum-Fass. Mann. Ich gefreut habe auf Bum-Bum. Bum-Bum schön sein. Ja, mal gucken, was es ist.
Oh no, it can't be.
Zwei schöne Wege. Beide sehen fast gleich aus. Ich gehe den lang. Warte.
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh!
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Ja, da ist der Ball.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Hold on. What are you doing?
Hups.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh. Flying Rabbit 64. Ja, wo gehen wir hin? Oh nein, da geht's weiter runter. Oh,
Nee, komm, nimm Garys Mod.
Oh, wir sind der G-Mod. Ja! Kann man hier auch Sachen abbauen? 4, 2, 3. Oh, da das Schüttenlicht. Sieht einfach alles schön viel besser aus. Knöpfe drücken. Es funktioniert gar nichts.
Warte mal, guck mal nochmal das Fenster. Das ist auf dem Monitor, das sah aus wie Five Nights at Freddy. Ja klar, das ist Five Nights at Freddy auf dem Monitor da, oder nicht? Ja klar. Das sieht aus wie Pizzeria. Die Küche.
Ja, stimmt, weil wenn man da gerade richtig hinguckt, sieht's aus, ob das Five Nights at Freddy's ist. Ich will gerne näher ranzoomen, aber geht leider nicht.
Der Bell hat hier ein lustiges Gemerk. Würde aber passen von dem Monitor.
Ja.
Stell dir vor, da steht irgendwo Freddy rum, ey.
Das wär creepy. Kann man hier zumachen? Nee. Wo komme ich hier noch entlang? Oh!
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Cool, er kann warten. Mein Wunder. Oh. It's never the end. It's never the end. Yay! Weiter geht's.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So. Wollen wir mal weitergehen? Ne, jetzt ist mal kein PC. Leider. Perfekt. So, dann gehen wir jetzt mal einen anderen Weg wieder. Ach, nee, komm, wir gehen jetzt. Ne, ich glaube, da hat sich ein bisschen was verändert.
Sehen wir, dass sie das die Story immer irgendwie anders kaputt machen kann.
Okay. Der Raum hat sich verändert.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Das, was er will. Ich würde auch irgendwie cool sein, würde man irgendwie in die Backrooms gelangen.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay.
Steht Spielernamen drauf.
So, steht hier so. Pusher.
Get Chris out. Auf dem Bett.
Get Chris out of the bedroom. Ne, B-Room. Ja, Fire Poppy Guy. Oh Mann. Paper Sandwich Guy. Perfekt.
Fire Paper Guy. So, Papier ist scheiße. Feuern wir den Leuten mit.
Ja, das ist meine Vorstellung. Okay, nein, das ist schrecklich. Drucker! Oh, das sind die Kunden heutzutage. Yay! Hier steht wirres Zeug. Was? Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nein. Gibt's nicht.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Ich drehe gerne Däumchen.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Bis er anfängt zu quatschen. Einfach weitergehen lassen. So tun, als würde es weitergehen und wieder zurückgehen. So er anfängt zu quatschen wieder. Ja, oder das geht gar nicht. Aber wahrscheinlich noch vor.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
Dieses, dass mad ist, dachte ich bei der Besenkammerschild.
Oh, ich liebe diese Besenkammer
Maybe
echt so.
to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oh Mann, ey.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Wird immer
Well,
brutal.
I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Ich glaube, der ist ein bisschen sauer. Aber nur ein bisschen. Kommt da noch was? Ich glaube, nein.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Oh Mann. Ich glaube, der ist sauer. Vielleicht nur ein kleines bisschen. Ich glaube, ich habe ihn ein bisschen stinkig gemacht. Er mag nicht mehr. Er ist bockig. Er will nicht mehr mit mir reden.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope. Ist irgendwas? Notizen. Firearms. Yay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Ich hab sowas einfach.
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Ich bin normal? Ich glaube auch nicht.
I am okay.
Nein. Ich wusste es doch.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Und da starb er. Gedanken und friedlos. Also. Weiter geht's.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Weiter geht's. Mal gucken.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door
Schauen
on
wir mal
his
das
left.
jetzt mal, was er sagt.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Ja,
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Eine Tür. To reach camera common commands is in the which would alive would be to have to pick just one. Nice. Der Computer? Ja. Fahrstuhl. Hier ist er. Fahrstuhl. Eine sehr entspannende und ruhige Fahrstuhlmusik. Das kann man sich geben. Und heutzutage ist das gut. Ja. War ich nicht schon mal hier? Oh, ja, stimmt, da war was. Oh.
Stepping in.
Ich hab's hinbekommen! Ja, die Tür ist zu. Bin gut. Oh, die Tür ist zu. Gehen wir mal komplett zurück. Oh, da ist eine Tür offen. Ab rein da. No leaving. Hier hat der Fahrstuhl sich hingeführt. Ich wusste es doch. Escape for Bay Floor 760. Also bei 754. Eine 755. Rote Tür. 756. Es sieht alles gleich aus. Perfekt. Sieben. Und es tut gar nichts. Perfekt. Bloß die Zahl erhöht sich. 7, 5, 8. Der Erzähler sagt auch nichts mehr. Das ist voll creepy. Escape with Lounge Bay. Escape. Okay. Eine rote Tür. Wo führt sie bloß hin? Wer weiß, wer weiß. Oh nein, das ist ein Fahrstuhl. Ich sehe gar nichts. Top. Schwarz. Oh. Is never the end. Is loading. Is never the end.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Jetzt braucht er
left.
wirklich alles mal, was er will. Oder nee, ich mach was anderes. Eine Sache noch.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Ich hab nicht gewusst, dass es nochmal klappt. Oh. Oh, ich liebe diese Tür.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So, hier nochmal rein.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Creepy. Will ich hier wirklich entlang? Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Guck, kannst wieder nach oben fahren. So, jetzt hauen wir mal wieder nach oben.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Perfekt. Jetzt gehen wir wieder runter.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Er ist schon wieder langsam bockig.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Er ist leicht angepieselt. Aber nur leicht.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Oh nein.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Das ist nicht dein Ernst. Oh nein. Das was braucht man auch.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
So. Oh Mann. Ja. Dann beende ich mal diese Aufnahme. Ich wünsche euch noch einen schönen Tag und man hört sich. Chaos sagt ciao.